Hello my captains, and welcome back to Soul Horoscopes Weekly Edition. I'm your host to the universe, Christpher Witecki. I'm also the host of SoulGarden.me, the most loving space on the internet. And come on down for our latest office hours, SG After Dark. It's on Mondays at 6 p.m. Pacific, that's 9 p.m. Eastern, starring Jenny Watson, our village chief. She runs Soul Garden Village. And also, I, Marcella. She's our hostess with the mostest to all office hours. So this is our little gossip kind of time. I can't say too much, but it's girls talking on webcam. Need I say more? Come on down. Hope to see you, and I'll be there in chat, most likely. Or maybe a guest. You'll have to see. Now, we have shifted into a new state of awareness, Captain. We're now in the sun in Leo. And if you don't know, we're always working on at least 3 stories at the same time. There is, of course, the sun in Leo, which is our global Earth story. So the entire Earth this month is working on love. That's what Leo is the I love state of awareness. How we connect to our love source or don't connect to our love source. Now, each tribe on Earth, each sign in astrology, all connects to love in a different way. When you are a Capricorn, you connect to love in your own trust and intimacy. In other words, Capricorns only connect to love when there is a thorough background check. Seriously. All of your love and all of your intimacy are one, which is why very few people ever get a chance to see that loving side of Capricorn. And Capricorns often feel so misunderstood because they're so loving behind their actions, but what you don't realize is your love is hidden very well behind about 10 foot of steel, all right? And we love that steel when it's on our side, but when it's in the way of someone we love, that's not good. So this is a month, if you are a Capricorn, of working on connection to love at large, which means you are working on trust and intimacy issues. And then there's a third story, an individual story, which is the story we use GA to cover. So if you're in GA, we're covering your personal story based on your date of birth. Now, the I love state of awareness is our heart chakra energy, if you don't know. This is also the green energy, if you're into colorization. This is the part of us that really makes the earth green and makes the earth healthy. Love. Now, that said, as we start on Monday with love, we're really just doing a love test. For you on Monday, how you feel is directly related to your ability to connect to love. On the one hand, your own trust and intimacy issues. On the global hand, love at large. Now, the moon is in Libra, so your emotions are focused on career. It's a sunny and professional day on Monday, and you may feel a bit of a tug or an anxiety or a desire to act out. That's the moon crossing over Mars in Libra during the course of the day and in this opposition with Uranus. Now, the moon crossing Mars on Monday is going to give a big pulse, passion, a get moving energy when it comes to your career. And by the way, you should get moving with your career. You've got till Halloween to get it in motion after a 2-year transit of Saturn in Libra since late 2009. That's what I go very deep in the Act 3 videos. So in this particular day, you are feeling that momentum, and it directly opposes Uranus and Aries, which means you also have to innovate the way you take care of yourself. So stepping up in your career means you also step up with your own self-nurturing. That tug of war you are feeling on Monday. On Tuesday, also passionate, is a partly cloudy day, chance of some minor anxiety storms. There's a couple of reasons for it. On the one hand, the sun in Leo is making you vulnerable anyways. Let's remember that we're talking about the way you trust and don't trust. That's what this lesson is this month, your boundary issues as a Capricorn. So this particular day, no matter whether or not it's a new day, a different day, or just like every other day, you're feeling vulnerable because you are trying to find and explore holes in your trust and intimacy. These holes in trust and intimacy are what lead to holes to your access to love at large. Remember, you only get love through close boundaries. So career relationships, friendships, if there's not good trust and intimacy with yourself in the relationship or in the relationship, you are cut off from love. All right, so on Monday, you were feeling the beginning. On Tuesday, you're really feeling passionate about this topic. And there's also a trine worth mentioning between Venus in Gemini, trining up to this whole clutter of planets in Libra. What this says on Tuesday is, as you start to take responsibility for your career direction, as you move forward toward that Halloween goal of getting your legacy online, you have to also bring in your new expansion of what lifestyle can be or must be. Remember, all that energy in Gemini is pushing you to expand your idea of what life can be. So to get career going, expand life, be open to a different life, be open to a life that is not right now comfortable. And of course, if you're not comfortable, well, that takes us back to the sun in Leo, where Trust and intimacy issues are the reason of comfort. So Tuesday is really a feeling out of what's going on, whereas Monday was a thinking out. On Wednesday, we explore. Jupiter rules the day, so the sun does come back out to play. It's a day of exploring your options. So exploring your options and trust and intimacy with yourself, trusting yourself or not trusting yourself, exploring your options with trusting others, exploring your options everywhere in that regard. That means you are exploring your options to access to love, access to self-love, access to shining. That's all good. The moon is still in Libra, so this might all be under the emotional topic of career success. But remember, trust, intimacy, love is the background and more powerful transit of the month. And most importantly, we've got a double yod. A double yod. Now, the double yod always has one planet in common, Pluto. Pluto, which is in Capricorn. So I can't say it enough. You must, to succeed as a Capricorn 2.0, to be reconsidering at all times your ego reaction, how you defend, how you stick up, where you're proud or not proud, okay? So continually reconsider. It is not the way it was when you were born. You will in 10 years be completely different when it comes to ego reaction, and this is an epicenter of the yod. Then there's the other yod, which goes into the sun in Leo and Mercury and goes up back to Pluto and then over to Neptune and Pisces. What this says is, hey, remember you have to reconsider ego. That's part of it with Pluto. Then there's Neptune and Pisces. What's that? Listen to your intuition. So what God is saying is, reconsider ego, listen to intuition, and then reconsider where trust and boundaries are drawn all together. So God is basically saying, in order to change your trust, you're going to have to listen to your intuition and reconsider your ego. Wonk, wonk, wonk. Pretty simple, huh? Then on Thursday, storms, breakdown. Sorry, we've got a lot of thunder going on. Uranus rules the day, that's why. So wherever trust and intimacy was built on false foundation, in other words, I thought I could trust myself having 7 drinks and driving. Nope, false foundation. Oh, I thought I could trust my best friend around my boyfriend naked. Nope, not a good idea. You know, so anywhere where you have just been naive with trust with yourself or others is the breakdown, which is quite painful. And because Capricorns are so shy in public, they don't like that, especially if anyone else finds out about your breakdown. So Thursday is not fun in that regard. Then, what was that? That was like, I don't know, I have to think about it. That was Mayor Quimby from The Simpsons. Regard. Now, the moon in Scorpio makes us all very boundary defensive at the same time and throws your emotions all to the public. So I'm afraid to report, I'm not afraid, I'm unhappy to report that as you break down trust intimacy, it's a public thing for you. Probably you are feeling it. Even if it's not public, you're concerned it is going to be public. So there's a real public spin on Thursday. Definitely showers. Here is the clue, all right? You want to look for why or where you were ignorant, why things broke down. And that's really what Friday is about. So Friday's not exactly a joyful day, but you're going to find out where it is you broke down. You're going to have breakthrough. Mercury retrograde is conjuncting the sun at this point in a very intense way, and you are breaking through. So Friday is, why is it that the trust broke down? Why can't I trust myself? Why can't I trust others? Why can't people trust me? Why can't I deal with people who are trustable? For you Capricorns who never can find people who are trustworthy, it is really because you don't really trust yourself that you draw on people who don't trust themselves. Just so you know. Remember, reality is always a reflection of our own inner reality. Either way, Friday, you're starting to break through and understand what went wrong. At the same time, we've got a pretty powerful trine that stays in place for several days between the Sun conjunct Mercury in Leo up to Uranus in Aries. So what this says is, as you learn to trust, you must also self-nurture more. So increased or innovated self-nurturing leads to more trust leads to the ability to take care of yourself. You're going to have to totally poo-poo yourself so that you can own your trust and intimacy. If you rely on someone else to nurture you in this time of getting trust, then you'll end up having to trust them, not yourself. Wrong direction, Capricorn. We want inner power. Friday's a way of kind of figuring out that. On Saturday, Venus is back. Venus rules the day. The sun comes out to play, and we restore balance and order. Whatever trust issue was thrown into fire for you, the fire should be put out. It should be restored. You should feel safe again on Saturday. The moon moves into the subconscious, which normally is not fun, but I think for you is private, meditative, and gives you some clarity. We are blessed with a soul pyramid in fire, my favorite, passionate awareness, passionate epiphany. The moon in Sag is your emotions on the inside. So you're emotionally searching for inner faith. That's what's getting this soul pyramid going, searching for inner faith with the moon in Sagittarius. But that then trines down to the sun and Mercury in Leo, and then over to that Uranus and Aries we were talking about. So what this says is this: as you innovate your self-nurturing with Uranus and Aries, you, and at the same time, start to feel this new inner faith, you'll be able to change your trust and intimacy issues. So if you hold the space for what you have faith in, and you're open to nurturing yourself in new ways, you'll be able to change your trust and intimacy issues. And even if the public sees it, you'll still be okay. So Saturday truly is a day of healing. This is a part-time soul pyramid that goes away the next day. I hope you process, and I hope you feel that new faith. Then on Sunday, Neptune rules the day, very cloudy, very spiritual, very psychic. The moon is in Sagittarius, so you're already emotionally psychic. Whatever you wake up feeling on Sunday, pay close attention. Those watched over in GA, this is the kind of thing I will text you. Hey, pay attention to what you're thinking when you wake up today, because this is going to be a symbol of a lot. On the one hand, a symbol of where it is maybe you have trust intimacy issues. You know the big things like don't drink and drive, or I have problems trusting men, or da-da. But now we're starting to, on Sunday, get to the bottom of, because I didn't trust Dad, and because I didn't trust, and it just starts to get deeper. So Neptune is really a getting deep personal day, and your emotions searching for faith, again, kind of push you forward to find all of that. All right, Capricorn, I hope that is good for you. We are stepping into the potential of love, which means you are stepping into the potential of intimacy, which, by the way, I'll leave you with is into me, I see. I'll be back in 7 days with more. Until then, live, love, be.